Welcome to my consulting room. This is the first of 3 videos on how to steward your health physically, mentally and spiritually. We will consider the question, what fuels are Bible-based and compatible with our blood pH? We're very careful to put the right petrol or fuel and oil into our cars, which we expect to last maybe 10 years before we upgrade to a newer model. What about the body? This vehicle expected to last maybe 90 years? In fact, did you know that God himself stated our years will be 120? Genesis 6:3. Why do we have a shortened life expectancy? Does it have something to do with what we fuel our bodies with? Not much thought is given to what we eat. When we're hungry, we love to eat what our mothers used to make, or nowadays, what's convenient and at hand. Let's look at the body from a chemistry perspective. We are 70% liquid, and we know that it is blood that carries nutrition to all our cells. The pH of blood is 7.35 on the alkaline side of the pH continuum. Ideally, the food we digest should be compatible with our blood pH. While this is an advertisement for Kangen water, there is much truth in the chart. The pH acid continuum ranges from 1 to 7. You will note that an acidic body environment leads to sickness, emotional and physical stress, and aging. This is because an acidic environment is anaerobic with very little oxygen present, in which cancer cells, for example, thrive. You will also see that raw alkaline foods lead to health, emotional and physical strength, and youth. The Western and South African diet is acid forming with its high animal and dairy protein intake. The blood deals with this acidic intake by drawing calcium from your bones, resulting in osteoporosis. A study in 1994 by researchers from Yale University of Medicine found that the countries that use the most cow's milk suffer the highest bone fracture rates. In South Africa, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men will possibly develop osteoporosis. When our body environment is acidic, it also affects the efficacy of vitamin D in protecting our cells. Let's turn to a biblical reference. Genesis 1:29. God said to the first people, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. This is the raw alkaline food that God designed for our bodies. Now, if you are a South African who loves to braai, do not despair. We can go to another biblical reference, Genesis 9. This is when the flood waters receded and Noah and his family and all the animals emerged from the ark. Then God said this in verse 1. God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will fall upon all the beasts of the earth and all the birds of the air, upon every creature that moves along the ground, and upon the fish of the sea. They are given into your hands for food. However, Genesis 1 remains the blueprint. It was originally designed for the body to thrive. But today, fruit and salads, the raw alkaline foods, are relegated to mere side dishes. We also need to pay attention to food combinations. The custom of racevleis and aardappels op een bord turns out to be a digestive disaster, resulting in metabolic acidosis. And we then reach for a Rennie's or some other antacid. It's no wonder then in South Africa that colorectal cancer is the fourth most common cancer among both men and women. Through my nutritional studies, I have learned that the body is able to heal itself with the correct nutrition. It was, after all, the father of medicine, Hippocrates in the 5th century, who said, "Let food be your medicine." I would like to tell you Ruth Hagers' story. In her words, "For all my 47 years, I thought I was extremely healthy. I'd been a daily runner for 14 years, had run 3 marathons, and ate what I considered a very healthy diet. Lots of chicken, fish, and low-fat dairy. In my words, an acid-forming diet." Ruth continues, "Little did I know there was an insidious cancer growing in my right breast, which had spread to my bones and one lung. While recovering from the surgery, I saw a newspaper item asking for volunteers for a breast cancer diet research study. After being shown the results of the research thus far, I was convinced that Dr. McDougall was on the right track and decided against chemotherapy and radiation. I recovered completely on a raw alkaline eating plan and have completed the Ironman 6 times, run 67 marathons, won over 800 racing trophies, been declared one of the 10 fittest women in North America, and have a fitness age of 32, although chronologically I am 67. Look at her grey hair and that young body. Proof that raw alkaline foods lead to health, emotional and physical strength, and youth. We can be at optimum health if we have an eating plan that consists of 75 alkaline forming foods, that is fresh fruit and vegetables, and 25% acid forming foods like meat, fish and chicken. So I would like to present you with a 40-day challenge, a challenge of transition from an acid forming diet to a alkaline forming eating lifestyle. 40 days, as you know, is a time of transition, and I promise you it will not feel like 40 days in the desert. Take a moment and visualize what it will feel like to have a spring in your step and feel empowered to do whatever God calls you, and no fear of COVID-19 or any other disease. For the 40-day challenge, complete an email medical history and commit to 7 weekly Zoom sessions. You will receive good health habits to practice, recipes, meal demonstrations, a weekly Zoom session with Q&A time. The cost is 700 Rand, 100 Rand per week, can be paid in 2 installments of 350 Rand per month. Do register on my website, Health at Hand Causa, for the 40-day Coach Challenge.